What's going on, guys? How are your meatballs? Today I'm going to be teaching you how to fix your HUD in Black Ops 6 Zombies. As you can see, I'm running with the standard HUD, and there are some things about it that I personally don't like, that some other people may like, some may not, some may agree with me, some may want to change. This game's a year old now almost, so I'm going to teach you very quickly what everything is for the most part in terms of zombies that I can deduce. This video was supposed to come out on launch, but never did, so we're going to be quick. First things first, go over to settings, then to interface, then to gameplay HUD, then to zombie HUD presets. From here, you can go through all your different HUD presets and determine what you like or what you don't like. From there, if you like one specific one, you pick it. If you don't, you can maybe pick whatever you want to base it off of and then go and make some additional changes from there. If you want no HUD, you go to redacted. Now, I personally like classic, but for the sake of this video, I will go standard to show you what everything does. Let's go over to our visuals and let's crank all this stuff up real quick, because this is how it's going to be for the most part, or at least this is how it should be, and I will explain everything. So, as you can see, I am looking at the zombies right now. There is a health bar. If I shoot it, there are damage numbers coming out of the zombie. If I go ahead, go to settings, interface, gameplay HUD, zombies HUD presets, once again, and back to visuals, and I turn off my zombies health bars and damage numbers, that's gone. Also, additionally, my player names. This is if you have any friends in the game. If you want to see their full username, keep it on full name. The abbreviated one, you put it on abbreviated. And if you want to just see an icon over them, just a dot over their name instead of any name at all, you select this one. That is closer to BO3 zombies. Now, for some reason, that zombie's health bar remained, but as you can see, no more zombies health bars, no more zombie damage numbers. We're good to go on that front. Let's pause the game once again. I want you to keep in mind, by the way, that no longer, as opposed to launch, because on launch this was different, no longer are the zombies and multiplayer HUDs overlapping, meaning that they are mutually exclusive. If you change something in the zombies HUD, it should not change the multiplayer HUD, and vice versa. One thing to keep in mind is that you'll notice is that sometimes when you come into zombies, though, your HUD will be entirely reset. There is nothing you can do about that. It just seems to happen after every update or every game crash or restart. I don't know. It just happens occasionally. It is what it is. Just keep in mind that you may have to redo your HUD at some point. Now, anyways, back to settings, interface, gameplay HUD, zombies HUD presets, really a friggin' project to get back here. Then to visuals. Okay, next up, we have the elimination feed, score feed, and elimination ID. First things first, elimination ID. I don't think this does anything. I've not noticed that this does anything in zombies at the very least. Maybe it does, you let me know. What I recommend is if I tell you I don't know what something is, and or if I say it is nothing, still put it on 10 or 15%. This way, if you ever do notice that you have something with an opacity of 10 to 15%, and maybe you don't change something to 10 to 15%, meaning that whatever the thing is on 10 to 15%, it has to be your elimination ID or whatever you set to 10 to 15%. So, elimination ID, I don't think it does anything in zombies. We'll keep it on 15% anyways. Maybe I can find something it does. I don't think it does anything. Next up, same thing with score feed. As far as I'm concerned, in zombies, the only thing it does is if a player connects or disconnects, it'll show that on the left-hand side. That's score feed. Elimination feed doesn't do anything. That's the left-hand side thing. The score feed is that plus 115 zombie critical kill. I will show you this right here. Opening this door, top right-hand corner that pops up, it does not seem that there's a way to get rid of that at all. I'm going to go ahead and shoot this zombie right here. As you can see, plus 115 critical kill. It's still there. So now I'm going to go back to my zombies HUD, visual, score feed. If I turn this off completely and kill a zombie, there you go. As you can see, there's no plus 115. I'm going to pause, settings, interface, gameplay HUD, zombies presets, back to visuals. And to recap so far, just for this bottom portion, zombie damage numbers we have off. I showed you what these look like on and off. Same thing with the health bar. I explained the player names with the icon and abbreviated names. The elimination feed practically does nothing unless a person is connecting or disconnecting from a game. That's the only time you'll ever notice something in that feed. The score feed is the plus 115 or plus whatever. When you kill a zombie, it says zombies kill. You can have this on whatever percentage you want, any opacity you want. If you want it off, you turn it to 0. The player and streak toast. This is another thing that I don't believe actually does anything. Like I said, when you open a door or when you activate a score streak in zombies, there's a menu that pops up in the top right. That's what I was assuming was affected by this, but I will show you. I just turned it down, and for some reason, it does not matter at all. Like it's still the same opacity, it seems. So I'm gonna go back to settings, interface, gameplay HUD, zombies HUD presets, and we will leave that at 15%. I cannot find a use for this. Actually, I'll keep score feed on 100% just to keep it simple. Like I said, elimination ID and player and streak toast don't believe do anything in zombies. Elimination feed also doesn't do anything. Anything that I don't believe does anything or I haven't found does anything in zombies, we'll keep on 15%. So score feed I showed you as well. Medals and notifications. So that is if you kill a couple of zombies, say you kill 20 zombies in a row without getting hit, I believe you get something called a Jackrabbit medal. That will pop up on the top of your screen. And that is what is controlled by that one slider right there. As you can see on the top of the screen, now I have the Deadeye and Slaughter medals. If I pause my game, settings, interface, zombies, gameplay HUD, then to visuals, it actually peeks through right here, that medal, so this is perfect. You'll see that it does indeed do something. If I turn this down the opacity, the medal starts to disappear. If I turn it back up, it starts to reappear, clearly showing you that it does something in zombies. So if you want to adjust that, you can just do that right there with that slider. Also, I believe gobblegums are via this. It may be through player and streak toast, but I don't believe it is. I believe it is medals and notifications. Either way, if you want those off or you want the opacity minimized, you could do that. But again, for the sake of simplicity in this video, whatever's on 15 is something that I don't think affects zombies and or I haven't noticed. Whatever is on 100, I believe, is affecting of zombies, or I can confirm. Equipment information and weapon information, the easiest thing. Look on that lower right-hand corner. You see the opacity of those things being affected by these sliders. You determine what you want them to be at, and you're good. That's it for the bottom portion. Back to and the layouts and the bottom portion of the visuals. Now to the top portion. Very simple, very self-explanatory. Minimap. If you want it square, you change it to square. You want it round, you change it to round. Compass type. If you want it on the minimap, you keep it on minimap. If not, you want it horizontal, it'll go above the top. If not, you want it off completely, you change it to off. Again, very simple. Next, we have the radar. If you turn this, well, we have minimap rotation. This basically is, if I turn this off, you'll notice the minimap does not move or rotate with the character. If I turn it on, it will move and rotate with the character. I can't say one is better or worse than another. That's up for you to decide. But I will, again, for the sake of simplicity, keep this on to show that it does do something. Radar, I don't really like it at all. I think it's honestly disgusting. I think it's kind of cool to see the layout of the map on it, but hey, if you want to see a radar instead of the actual map layout for the most part on your compass, on your mini-map, then you could do that. I'm turning that off. Next, scale. It just changes the size of your mini-map, as you can see. Information. This is for the information on the mini-map. Where did it go? I lost track. Okay. If you wanted to only show the players on the mini-map, as you can see, it'll only show the players and zombies. If you wanted to show objectives only, it will not show any players, not show any zombies, and only show you like the gobblegum machines, the ammo crates, traps, stuff like that. Or if you want both, you set it to all. Now, icon scale is the scale of the icons on the minimap. You want them bigger, you raise it. You want them smaller, you lower it. Minimap opacity, again, pretty self-explanatory. You want it up, you keep it up. You want it down, you keep it down. And that's it. Now, I'm going to show you how I usually run it. I usually run classic, then to visuals. I keep my compass type on horizontal. Since there's no mini-map, you'll have no compass. But even though you're on the classic HUD, if you switch it to horizontal, you'll see that the compass goes on the top for you horizontally. This doesn't do anything. None of these do anything, as you can see. I don't want a mini-map. Okay. Additionally, I typically turn off this stuff right here. Elimination feed, all this, damage numbers. Sometimes I actually do turn on zombies health bar, like I said, but for the most part, what you're seeing is pretty much how I keep it. Medals and notifications, I may keep this lower just for gobblegums, and that's really about it. For me, this is the optimal HUD. There's no way to turn this off and no way to turn this off, unfortunately. Moving forward, we have the colors section, which I'll go over very briefly. You notice some people sometimes have special colors. I personally use something different to do this. But if you want to apply filters, as you can see, to the map and or the weapons and stuff, you could do it. I just want to show real quickly that you can your color filter target can be on the world, meaning the map itself, or on the interface, which is just like, as you can see, the actual interface that I'm interacting with. And if you want it on both, you set it to both, and it'll affect both your interface and the entire maps. So this is filter 1, this is filter 2, and this is filter 3. I think either filter 2 or filter 3 is optimal in my opinion. I would probably say filter 2 looks the best. But at launch, this is personally what I use quite a bit to make my game look better. I'm going to set this to none, but you could go ahead and change this. If you want to change the intensity of the filter, you could do that with the slider. Same thing with the interface colors. It also affects, as you can see, the max ammos and stuff like that. But again, I'm not using any filters. I would recommend dabbling with it if you don't have a capture card or modify your color settings in any way. It could give you a nice aesthetic. Final section, we have the HUD color palette. Now, you can change this to some kind of color blindness mode, or you can manually change things. Real quick, if you want to change the color of your compass, just change the color of you to something like maybe black. And as you can see, the color of the compass will change with it, which is kind of cool as well. I'm going to keep it on white right now. I think also if you change here, is it this? No, it's not. Okay. Never mind. Just ignore what I'm saying. But you can change the color of your party members, the zombies icon or health bars as well with this. Each squad member, you can change the color of them as well. All through this right here. I think this, I don't know. There was a way to change the color of the compass, but in all honesty, it's probably better off white. Anyways, that's pretty much it. This was hopefully a pretty short and pretty sweet video on how to customize your HUD in Black Ops 6 Zombies to make it the best for you. Take care of your meatballs, guys. Peace.